find your purpose. You have the opportunity to find your purpose and to live in it. What a blessing. We're living in a time where it has become more prevalent that we are not the ones with all of the control. And I think that people are battling, they're having internal battles, questioning, am I supposed to be doing exactly what it is that I'm doing right now? Am I on the right path? Am I making the right decisions? Is my health at risk? A lot of these things, a lot of these questions people are asking themselves. So today I rose with the sun, got up with the sun and did my meditation, prayed, took some time to just cleanse myself as well, drinking lots of water. I hope that everybody's keeping themselves hydrated. Put a bit of charcoal in your water, of course, greens, chlorophyll, chlorella, all of these things, spirulina, adding that to your water, or drinking green juice. All these things, cleansing as soon as we get up, and just allowing yourself to take a moment with yourself to just think, instead of being told what to think. Does that make sense? We're on social media a lot these days. We're on our phones a lot, being that that's how a lot of us are connecting, being that we're in quarantine. Not all of us can connect with our extended family and friends. So in order to stay connected, it's like we're constantly on our phone. And if you're constantly on your phone, you're constantly practicing not being in the present moment. And when you practice not being in the present moment, you miss out on all the blessings, all of the guidance. You miss out on all the opportunities to make good choices that your future self will thank you for. So I feel what creates those blockages and what makes us feel as though we're just confused, I would say. Just like feeling confused is not being in the present moment. So what is blocking us from being in the present moment is our impatience a lot of the time. Impatience, not being patient. So I thought about this idea of impatience because I realized I myself was being impatient in my life. So I just wrote about it. First thing that I wrote is the word patience. So I'm going to read this to you guys, and I feel it will grant you some clarity in understanding why you're being impatient right now, why you feel like things could be better and you're worrying and all of these things. It's okay to know that things could be better, that it's good to have ambition and to see better for yourself, but to be so hard on yourself throughout the process is unhealthy. It's an unhealthy habit. So, patience. A lesson I have found myself constantly having to relearn, and I know that I'm not the only one when it comes to that. Why is this? I think it all started with being programmed to believe this backwards perception of time. Backwards perception of time. I know, at least for me, growing up, I was presented with a timeline on my life. Elementary school up until this age, middle school up until this age, high school up until this age, college up until this age, working at this age for a company, working for that company for this amount of years, retiring at this age, and then, oh yeah, can't forget, having children at this age, getting married at this age, all of these things. That is a completely unhealthy way to live. Everybody's timeline is different. There are people who will get married at 34 and live their best life up until 34, and then come 34, they're ready to settle down, they're ready to find their mate. Their mate comes out of nowhere, boom, children, 35, happy as ever, healthy as ever. That's some people's timeline. And then you have some people who will be 23 and get married, or 26 and get married and have children at 22. Everybody's timeline is different. And it's not up to us to judge anyone else or ourselves on this timeline. So I think it all started with being programmed to believe this backwards perception of time, not learning just how much to value your time, which is something that not a lot of us talk about, which is extremely important. Valuing your time. Value your time. Know that every moment that your heart is beating, you have purpose. Every moment that your heart is beating, you have purpose. Your present experiences are worth it. Being present in your experiences is all worth it. It's all building on the next experience. Being here and now gives you the inside look at where you're going. Because when you're here and when you're here now, you get to choose where you're going, because you're the one driving the ship. You feel me? Because you're here. You're on the ship. You got your hand on the wheel. You are the one driving the ship. Now, if you, for some crazy reason, decide to let go of the wheel, right? And still be present. Be present and let go of the wheel and see what the highest version of you is creating. Imagine where you'll go. And even let's beyond that, right? Imagine if we were to let go of the wheel and then completely disconnect from that moment and start worrying about a mile from now. What's the point? You're wasting time. Because a mile from now is still going to happen whether you choose to sit here presently or not. So you might as well allow yourself to be present, steer the ship in the direction that you would like to go, and that's it. It's a simple concept that we just weren't taught, and it's something that we have to remember. Being here and now gives you the inside look at where you're going. Worrying and putting heavy expectations on what is to come blocks it from coming. It puts a delay on the manifestations of your dreams. Being present allows it to flow in effortlessly, abundantly, miraculously, and in perfect divine time. We have to remember what time really is. We need to release the programming, release what we were taught that time is. Being present allows it to flow in effortlessly, abundantly, miraculously, and in perfect divine time. So one of my favorite Bible verses is Ephesians 3:20. Now unto him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly all that we can ask or think, according to the power that worketh within us. Now unto him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly all that we can ask or think. So I know that a lot of people get scared when, the idea of religion and the Bible comes into the conversation, right? But the reason why I reference the Bible is because it's an ancient text. So if you were to go into any ancient text, every single ancient text will say that in different ways. Now unto him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly all that we can ask or think, according to the power that worketh within us. Basically, what they're saying is the blessings that you have on your life are beyond what you can actually, you can't actually think the blessings that are meant for you. You can't, your brain, according to the human, when you go to the science, your brain cannot think, these precious blessings that are meant for your life. Your brain cannot think it. That's all the Bible is saying. That's all these ancient texts are saying. And even when you read, not just the ancient text, but just read a book now written by the ancient beings of the world, like Deepak Chopra, for example. I love using him as an example because he's such a universal being. His background is extensive. He's studied, the body on a medical level. He's on a scientific level, but he also grew up in India, and he was around that culture and all of these things. So he is a universal being. So when you're reading what he's writing, you're not reading it from a perspective of, oh, this is an Indian man and these are his Indian experiences. No, he's a universal being. What he's saying is just pure truth that can be applied to anybody's life. And that's what I see in these ancient texts as well, like the Bible, for example. So the reminder right now is just to have patience on the journey. Have patience, be patient on this journey. Things are changing every day, and it's a beautiful thing because you're being presented with many, many, many doors that can be opened. And it's totally up to you to decide to open it. You are the one driving the ship. So pay attention to the conversations that you're having with people. There are hidden messages in everything. Pay attention to the new connections made during this time. And I know that I'm speaking to somebody when it comes to that. Pay attention to the new connections made during quarantine time, because we're in quarantine. We supposed to be in the crib. You feel me? We here. We home, right? But we're getting blessed every day. We're able to have these experiences. We're still able to connect with people. We're able to connect with new people. All of these things. We're meeting new people in quarantine. These are the type of blessings that we're able to receive during this time. Not only do we have the opportunity to work on ourselves, right? And to grow within ourselves and in our own space, but we get to see what that attracts. You get to see that, the friends that you had before, maybe you just don't connect with them anymore. That's okay. Or you start making new friends, or you find that you're connecting with others, and that's okay. Or you find that things that used to interest you before no longer interest you, and that's okay. And you find new things to be interested in, and you gain some new hobbies, and you find your purpose. You have the opportunity to find your purpose and to live in it. What a blessing. I'm going to keep it at that right there. I think that entire message, it absolutely resonates with me, and I know that it resonates with others, so I'm going to keep it at that. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in. I be on a vibration. I just want to share it because I found my purpose. You feel me? Voice is part of it, so I have to share it in these moments. So trust your experience. Trust your present moment. Trust that, blessings are coming, and trust that the work that you're putting in now will amount to something. Know, not even just believe it, but know that how you're expressing yourself now, it will translate the way it needs to translate in the world. Does that make sense? I hope so. Grateful to know what work I need to do every day, and the ability to tune into it and just share it. Peace and blessings, you guys. Remember that we're always at the right place at the right time. We just have to be patient and trust our own journeys. All right. Peace and love.